Okay, good morning, guys. Melissa here. I am just getting up. It is like, what time is it? Like 10? I think it's like 10. I have been up, awake, but I have been trying to digest like my busyness. Like every time I get up, I have a million things to do. I have so much to do. And so usually what I do is the first thing I do is I give myself some time to wake up. Unless it's like like Saturday I had to just get up and get to work. But it's just been there's been a lot more for me to digest and deal with. So we rearranged the living room and my son has like every single book of Wearsby except one. He's missing, I think he said Isaiah. So we watched God's Not Dead yesterday together. We rearranged the living room with some cheap furniture we had brought, rearranged it so we all can see the TV better. So that movie is really good. But so what I want to talk about is what do I do when I'm being pulled in a million ways? Usually I have to give myself extra time to relax. And it sounds like an oxymoron, but it works. And I know a lot of people are like, okay, so I have way too much to do, so I need to, you know, pull it in, which I do. I mean, I do pull stuff in eventually, but pull it in, get on a routine, have a better routine. And I am not very routinish. I'm just not. I am very creative. As a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody about looking into acting and modeling, and one person was acting, another person was modeling. I'm older, so there's a lot of older models too. Um, and looking into my creative side more because I am, I've got a book written, I got to get that published. I just got so much going on that I am not sure. I can be a 9 to 5 type of worker. I do like some structure. Like when I go to work, it's pretty structured. Except this weekend they had me cleaning baseboards, so now I have restaurant cleaning under my belt. I can use that in my cleaning experience. But so this morning I'm like, where do I begin? Where do I begin? I started with putting my earrings in because at work you can't have earrings. So unless they're like little studs. So I'm like, where do I begin today? I had to process some stuff, so I was doing that. I was communicating further about some stuff I needed to. But I'm like, okay, so just the other day, a few days ago, last week, I was networking. I had like 3 networking events, and I had kind of been put on the spot, but it was okay. I said, "Hey, I need some help to get my cleaning business out there." And this guy's like, "Do you? What do you need?" And I'm like, "I just need exposure." He's like, "Come on, let's do a video right now." And I'm like, "Now?" And he's like, "Yep, right now." So they have a radio talk show, and they got me on a video talking about my cleaning business. So that was some good exposure. Um, I had a nice lady who I've gotten to know. We went out for lunch, and she's like, "Melissa's a marvelous person," and she promoted that video. And then I have somebody offering 5 weeks free of business classes. So I'm like, yeah, I should probably take this. I would love to take it, to really they hold your hand. I mean, there's so many gaps. And I was watching Caleb Hammer last night where he kicked someone off the show for the first time and the guy didn't have the business plan down. So I'm like, yeah, I really need someone to hold my hand and show me every little thing. And this woman is amazing. She's had like 3 or 4 businesses, and then uh what's the word, I forget what they do. Scale it, that's the word, scale it and sell it. So she's an amazing entrepreneur. She had come from nothing, much like my channel. I talk about just coming from the basics in life and taking homeschooling to build your family, taking different books, taking different wisdom and knowledge, implement it in your life and design your life. And I was talking to another lady who, her and she was talking about how knowledge is right there. God says, get knowledge. and she was reading, she told me Confucius, and it was just because she said God says get knowledge. So we can learn. It's like I said to her, it's right out in the street. We can learn from so many things just right out there in front of us. But but for this, I think I want the classes because I want to put a social impact in my business too, which is standing for pro life. And I'm not sure how to frame this yet because a lot of people still have, this is so political. It's just such a political issue, and you don't want to hurt your business. But I do have a heart for helping single moms, all kinds of moms, families with cleaning. Yet, someone said this to me, and I think it's true. She said the single mom story is old school. It's old. And I thought, yeah, I think she's got a point because she was talking about how she was a single mom and she went to college and she makes a lot of money now, like as a doctor, and she did it as a single mom. So we do still have this mentality of the single mom that is left, helpless. And I think we need to change that too. I think we can do better with that, narrative, and with networking and everything, you can change things. So, kind of my point to this whole video, as I'm going all over the place here, is how do you deal with stuff when you feel like you are being pulled in a million places? Like last week, I had a guy call me. I got like 4 or 5 customers all at once last week. I just started my business, just mentioning it in Uber, word of mouth. Oh, I need cleaning. That's how I had one cleaning last week. Oh, I need cleaning. Oh, I need cleaning, and follow up. So, when I was at the networking event, I had one of the ladies say, I need cleaning. My mother in law needs cleaning. And then when I got home, oh, and then a lady said, meet me next week because I need cleaning. And then when I got home, I had a guy call me who knew the first people. And he's like, I've got a gym. Can you come and look at it? It needs cleaning. He's like, have you ever cleaned a gym before? And I'm like, actually, there was this office where kids, played on a mat and stuff. And it was like a gym and I had to go in and clean. So, so it's all coming all at once. And I haven't like I got to get my insurance. I haven't done that yet. I haven't hired anybody. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, Melissa, it's coming all at once. So how are you going to handle this? So I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I got to make time for this class. I did have someone tell me I could go on their online directory. I need to do that. And so when a million things are coming at you, and this is just me, this isn't even like my kids who I am very close to, who I, throughout the whole day try to be there, encourage one of my sons throughout the day, talk to my sons at night, pray for my sons. There's a lot there, plus take care of myself. um there's just so much to do in life, just so much. So it really is for me. And I do have a schedule that I will get to after, where I do pull things in. Like I have this friend who's like, You want to live with me?" And I'm like, "No." "And do you want to, hey, why don't you come out with us today?" And I'm like, "No, I've got things to do today. How about tomorrow? We're going to the movies. Want to come with us then?" "Hey, we'll come over and see you." And I'm like, "Another time." Because I am an introvert, and I just went out with another friend. And it's just like, look, I need time to myself too. I mean, I could have a lot of people in my life and a lot of friends who want to do a lot with me, but I really get worn out by the what feels like idleness to me. So I really am careful with my time, how I use it. I love people and I love being around people. But this other friend I just went out with, he's like, "How about we go out next week or go out again over here next time?" And I'm like, "We'll see," and I really have to be careful about my time. I have to be careful because otherwise, if I don't take care of myself, I'm no good to anybody else. So being an introvert, I need a lot of time for me. It's even hard for me to like work because I have so much to do. So but after what I do, my point is I just take extra time for me. And it doesn't make sense, but I take more time for me, and then that will help me, digest and process what things I just did, kind of journal maybe some things I want and what I have coming up, and how I want to organize it in a way that can be most efficient. So that's kind of how I do things. Leave comments down below. Tell me what you do when you feel like you're being, you have a million things to do every day. Tell me what you do. Um, and, I know that time to myself really centers me and to be able to write. And I did have a lady say, hey, do some visual boards, write down everything you want to do. I mean, I have a motorcycle class, I have a book, I have this, I have that. On and on, to do. And she's like, just write it all down and prioritize it. So, I mean, I always do that anyways, but she's like, do it in a different way. Do it with, make sure it's all written down. And then when time allows, opportunity will come. Be prepared for the opportunity. So I'm trying to take in different things that are said. She said, don't let time be your enemy. I really like that one. Somebody last week had said, if you're in a bottle, you can't see the outside of the label. And I'm like, I really like that one too. Having other people in your life who can see things around you that you can't see. So I'm trying to pull it all together, but for now, I'm just relaxing. Just relax. I give myself a lot of time to relax so I don't have a mental breakdown, because I've had a lot in my life, and I'm not picking on anybody. I think we're all made differently, right? And what would cause one person to have a mental breakdown may not cause the other person to, but what may not cause one person to stumble would cause you to stumble. So I think we really need to know ourselves and know how we operate and what works for us and what doesn't. So that's kind of what I'm sharing today, guys. I do know too, yesterday, we had cleaned up this place, and I'm like, I was in a lot yesterday. So I'm like, I think I want to be out and about today. So I do push myself to be out and about every day doing something, so that I am not isolated. And I think that's really important too, ladies. Like when you've had like a forced abortion and you're healing, a lot of that abortion happened in isolation. Sometimes a lot of healing happens in isolation. So you really want to make sure that you are around other people, and that's important. So also, um, well, I'll talk about that later because that's like another subject. But yeah, take time for you guys.